Hi guys, it's Violet. Listen to your body and welcome to another episode of the Digestive System. And today we have a special guest, Jilly Bean.
Hi guys.
And for those of you who doesn't know, Jilly and I go back years ago, years. And I know Jilly, I knew Jilly since she was like 7 years old.
Yes.
A long time ago. Yes. And we both deal with digestive problems. So I said, why not have somebody, to share their experience with me, so other people out there is going through the same thing who can relate, so.
That's right.
Also, she have a YouTube channel, to check it out. She's called Jilly Bean. So she really doing, she does blogs, so very nice blog. So go check out her YouTube channel. Okay.
Thank you, Violet.
You're welcome, honey. So what are you going to talk about today, Jill?
Okay, well, today we're going to talk about chemical digestion and mechanical digestion and the mouth and everything that goes into that and how it relates to digestion. So I guess we can go ahead and jump right in.
Yes.
Okay, so let's first go over the definition on the difference of mechanical digestion versus chemical digestion. So with mechanical digestion, that's basically what we do when we chew our food and we break it into smaller pieces for the body to be able to break down more to nutrients that we can absorb. So mechanical is just basically the chewing, the cutting, whatever you want to call it,
The cut and swallow.
The cut and swallow. Yes. And actually, I remember, I think it was the first meeting we had, we were talking a little bit about that on how we used to cut and swallow our food. And you'll always know when you do that, because when you have a BM, you'll see chunks of food in your BM.
Yeah.
So that's a sign that you're not chewing your food well at all. So it's very important to chew your food very, very well, as we discussed in the first episode. So I know for me, when I eat, I tend to, especially if I'm in a rush and I'm just mindlessly eating, I cut and swallow without thinking about it. But when I'm, mindfully eat my food and I, really take my time, you'll know, your body will tell you, your BM will tell you exactly what's going on. So just, keep an eye on that. And let's talk about the chemical digestion. So chemical digestion, so we said mechanical digestion was, the chewing, the contractions in the body, moving the food from, one organ to the next, that's mechanical. The chemical digestion is your enzymes, your digestive enzymes that break down the food, the bile, the bacteria, the good bacteria, all that works together to break down the food particles into nutrients, into absorbable nutrients that your body can absorb and use for your overall health and for your digestion. So that's basically the difference. Like I said, the mechanical is the chewing and the muscle contractions, the peristalsis throughout the body, and then the chemical is the digestive enzymes, the bile, everything that works together to further break down your food into particles and into nutrients that it could absorb. So they both work together hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. So I wanted to start off with talking about saliva, because as we all know, when we start eating, that's the first thing that happens. We start chewing, our saliva mixes in with the food. And why is saliva important? Well, saliva has our digestive enzymes in it. And it also is the main component is water. Which is, brings me into my next point, how important it is to drink enough water for our bodies, because saliva's main component is water. So when we're not drinking enough water, our body isn't producing enough saliva to our saliva glands. And therefore, our mouths get dry and it's not going to be good. So always drink enough water. I know for me, I keep my handy blue bottle here and I sip on it throughout the day. I fill it up, I'll refill it, and I'll keep drinking throughout the day. But it's so important. I can't stress it enough how important it is. Because, growing up, I never really took water seriously. I never really drank, I never drank a lot of water or thought it was important. But in my adult life now, when you start drinking enough water, you will realize what your body was missing. It's like, oh, I feel so much better. This is what my body was missing. Your hair will start to grow, your nails will grow, your skin will clear up. It's because you need your water. Water is so important for digestion. It's what helps, get everything through as well. Ms. Violet, did you want to say anything about saliva?
Yeah. And the saliva also have a lot of nutrients in it.
Yes.
A lot of nutrients in the saliva. So you need that water to help, produce more saliva so you can that's the reason when you eat the food, it giving you added nutrients, to your food, the saliva, yeah. And drinking more water is good for constipation.
That's
so
right.
if you have constipation problem, drink up that water.
And even if you're doing all the right things, with trying to get your digestion on track, if you're not drinking enough water, it's not, you're not going to get the full benefit of what, all the work that you're doing to help yourself, because water is like a main component that, the body needs to digest food.
Exactly, because our body is made up of 75% water.
That's right. That's right.
So it's very important that we drink, half our body weight of water.
That's right.
To flush the cells and the kidneys, the livers, everything.
That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. So I basically wanted to bring that up because, when we start chewing our food, the saliva plays an important role in the chemical digestion of further breaking down our food for our body to absorb. And I did also want to touch on, we talked about saliva, we talked about the difference between chemical and mechanical digestion, and we talked about how the saliva has digestive enzymes. We also talked about digestive enzymes last week, the fruits that contain them. And I did a little bit of further research into that as well. And I just wanted to bring up that, the fruits that we mentioned, papaya, pineapple, even bananas, mangoes, those kiwis, those all have digestive enzymes that our body can use, because if we eat foods that have that have enzymes in them, it's not going to rob our body from its digestive enzymes, because we're already ingesting it. So our body won't have to work as hard. But I wanted to mention those fruits because for me, for my body, for instance, when I did the sensitivity test with my naturopathic, I couldn't have papaya. It came up as a fruit that my body was sensitive to. And it just goes to show you, we are really all different, because papaya is known to be a food that's good for people with digestive issues. But for me and my body, it wasn't something that I could eat right away. My body wasn't able to take it. And a matter of fact, when he did the sensitivity test on me, he was like, I'm surprised you can't have papaya. She was like, papaya is usually good for people in your situation. But, you have to listen to your body. You have to do what's right for your body. What might be good for somebody might not be good for the next person. Just like Ms. Violet, you can't have bananas, right?
Or pineapples.
Or pineapples, right? But I can eat pineapples. I can have bananas in, small quantities, as long as I'm not overdoing it. So it's very important to listen to your body. When you look stuff up online, you'll see they'll have lists of foods that have a lot of digestive enzymes in them. But, you also within that have to listen to your body, do your research, and find out what's going to work best for you and your body. Because, like I said, everybody's different. We're all unique. We all have different, our bodies are all different.
And there's one thing I forgot to mention. When we did the enzyme,
right.
There's a powerful powder. It's called pine pollen powder.
Pollen powder.
Yeah, I like in the springtime, like the pine tree, the Mount Sinai Mercy is so good. It doesn't matter where in the world you live, you have pine tree, because that's what they use for Christmas tree, So it's pine all over the world. So in the springtime, it produces pollen. So that's what you use. That's what they sell the pine pollen in the market. It's a digestive enzyme as well.
Wow.
Very, very good for the body. So you could do some research on pine pollen, guys.
I'm definitely going to do some research on that. I've never heard of that before. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yes. And when it's springtime for me to go in August, I'm going to do it. So I will take you guys along to show you. Yes.
I'm so excited. Yeah. That's going to be great. And, I feel like, especially when you have digestive issues, it's important to eat foods that do have those digestive enzymes, because that's one thing our body is lacking. We don't have enough digestive enzymes. That's part of, what the problem is. So not only do we take our digestive enzyme supplements, at least I know I take digestive enzyme supplements, I also make sure I'm eating a lot of food that have those enzymes in them that's going to, help my body be able to break down other foods. So, it all works together. Everything we need is, in nature. Everything we, the Most High is so gracious that he's given us everything we need in nature. And, like I said, listen to your body, because, for instance, mango has digestive enzymes in it. Can I have mango? No, I wish I could, but I can't. And it's because mango has a very high sugar content. And for me, in my body, I struggle with yeast. So I can't have anything that's going to feed my yeast, that's going to feed my bad bacteria, because I'm going to get a flare up. So even though I love mangoes, I can eat them all day, I can't have them. One mango has about 45 grams of sugar, which isn't good for me specifically, because sugar feeds the yeast. Yeah. So, other people, you might be able to have mango and be fine. But for me, banana is about as the sweetest I'll go. Banana and pineapple, because banana has about 12 grams of sugar per fruit. So if I stick to like one or two of those, usually I'm good, especially like if I have it in the morning when my body has the whole day to digest, usually I'm good. So it's just all about listening to your body, finding out what works for you and your specific ailments. You might not have a yeast problem, so you might be able to enjoy mangoes. And I really do hope you guys can, because mangoes are life.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite fruit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you have something you wanted to add to that, Ms. Violet?
No, I was going to say, it's like you said, it's so important, for us to listen to our body, because even though we might face the same, digestive problem, one thing might work for you, it doesn't work for me, so right. when you do your research, they will have like a whole list of stuff you can eat. You have to just pick and choose, what you can. You got to really test the water for yourself.
That's right. You got to isolate certain foods and see what works.
Yeah. What doesn't. Yeah. People might say, this is good for me. This is good for you, but your body's telling you something completely different. So you definitely have to listen to your body. Yes.
Because, for me, I remember I was reading, I think I mentioned this last week, that I, read, kombucha is good for the gut. So I was downing all this kombucha, but I wasn't feeling good. Yeah. And I was like, this is good for me. It's great for me. I'm just going to keep drinking it, and didn't realize I was feeding all the bad yeast in my body. And it just goes to show, even if you read something that says it's good, still listen to what your body's not going to steer you wrong. Listen to your body.
And that's for me. I used to make kombucha by the gallon and make my own kombucha.
I remember that.
Yeah, by the gallon. So I do my homemade kombucha. I haven't done it in a long time. I'm going to start doing it. So, and it works. It's good for me, but for Jilly, it doesn't work for her. So, even you even try the homemade kombucha that I made, right, Jilly? When I visit you guys,
I think I did try that one year that you guys came over. Yes, it was so good.
Yeah, and it still didn't work for her. So we definitely have to listen to the body. Yes,
that's right. Yeah. Listen to your body. And also, if you can, I would also recommend, if you're in a position to, get a sensitivity test, because it's very easy. Well, it's helpful in helping you pinpoint which foods your body's not reacting to. If you can't get a sensitivity test, just isolate the foods and just see what's working for you and what's not. But if you can, I would always definitely recommend to get a sensitivity test, just to have an idea. Because I know when I did mine, I was like, oh, wow, all these foods that I had no idea that I was eating, and I was able to just, cut them out right away and get my body in the process of healing. So, that's something I can't, recommend enough as well. Did you have anything you wanted to say about that, Ms. Violet?
Yeah. Gotta be kidding me. As a fruits in my life, I said, you talk about fruits, that's all I eat, fruits. So
right.
But I realized that I had to when it really hit, one day I'm like, okay, I gotta stop. Right. So I had to stop eating the foods that really causes me to, to have reaction in my body.
Right.
And then, because one of the time I couldn't eat mango,
right.
For the reaction, the high sugar content. But now I'm able to eat the mango now,
Right.
So when you're going through a flare up at the time, if you're going to flip the time, you gotta cut out the stuff that's causing the flare up.
That's right.
Revisit it again. And if your body's saying, okay, you can't have it, you have to, give it another break, another 3 months, 6 months, and then gradually reintroduce it back to your system and see.
And it could also be the amount too. Like it could be like your body can only take a little bit of mango or one or two bananas and not 5. Yes. You know what I mean? It could be all about the amount too.
Yes.
Because I know for me, I used to back in the day, I used to have like 5, 6 bananas and
and the smoothie.
Yeah. That's so much sugar for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? For my body, that's not something that my body was able to handle, all of that sugar. And I'm, wondering why I had a yeast overgrowth and I'm feeding all these bananas into my body. But now I had to cut bananas out for a while. And then now I'm thankfully I'm able to start introducing them back because I love bananas so much.
Yes.
So, you know, as long as I keep it, you know, everything in balance, guys, everything in balance.
Yes.
I didn't need 6 bananas in a smoothie. 1 or 2 would have probably been fine. You know, it's all about the balance and just, you know, everything in moderation. That's actually part of, that's one of the 10.
Temperate in all things in
that's
moderation.
Right. Temperance in all things. Very important. Yeah. So that's about all I have for today. Did you have any closing thoughts, Ms. Violet?
Let me see. So we're talking about the mechanical digestion, the chemical digestion, and you know, really chewing the food, you know, like I said before, chewing the food, you know, in small pieces really, really helps with digestion, you know, especially if you have digestive problem, you know, and that's something that you have to, for me, it have to be a conscious thing for me to do.
Yes, definitely.
Because I'm so used to the cut and swallowing, you know, so I said, okay.
It's like a mindless thing. You don't even think about it.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, and you talk about the saliva, you know, that our human body release 1.5 liter of saliva every day, you know, and it's like just our body's fearful and wonderfully made. So, you know, drinking it's about the most I give us health principles, nutrition, you know, exercise, water, sunshine. Let's talk about tempering all things, you know, in all things. Rest, you know, fresh air and sunshine, most of all, trust in y'all. So when we apply those principles, they're simple. When we apply them to our lives, you know, it make a big difference, you know.
But, you know, the Most High is so good. He didn't make health a complicated thing. He didn't make the laws of health complicated. He made it, and I find that so beautiful. It's something that I feel like a child can see and understand, which is a beautiful thing as well.
Yes. Oh yes. It doesn't make anything complex. Man made it complex.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And as you talk about water, my husband have a testimony. He used to work with this lady, and she have bad headaches. It's called vertigo.
Oh, vertigo or migraines, yeah.
Yes, and she went to all different type of doctors to try to find it. They put her all kind of medication, all kind of upside. They put her in this machine, turn her upside down, and just to find out what's going on with her. And she went to a gynecologist, and she said, "You sound like you're suffering from dehydration."
Wow.
So this lady, she smoked, she like crazy, whatever, but she did that one change in her life. She started drinking a gallon of water a day. Went away.
And that's it. Wow.
She started drinking a gallon of water a day. Yes, so that water is very, very important.
And, you know, it's funny because when you tell people that, they're just like, oh, that sounds so simple. That's not the answer to the problem. Exactly. My supervisor was dealing with so many ailments, and I kept telling her, I was like, you need to drink some water. She went to the doctor. The doctor said, you need to drink some water. You're dehydrated. And for like a month, she was just like, that's not what it is. That's too simple. Yes. She started drinking water, and all her problems were she was just like, wow, all I had to do was sit down and drink some water. Sometimes the answer is very simple. So it's not always complicated.
Yes, so simple. Exactly. And all these principles that he gave us, you know, these.
That's right.
Yes, it's very simple. You know, fresh air is so good for the lungs. You know, the sunshine, vitamin D. You know, all this and this so good for us, but it's so simple. It's like people are like, okay, that's too simple. You know, that's too simple.
Right, but, exactly.
They give us nothing complex. You know, we make it complicated. It's not complicated. Yes, not complicated. So guys, I just want to thank you once more for joining us, you know, on our journey, you know, as we learn to listen to our body, you know, and give the body what, you know, it needs to help with digestive issue. And like Jilly said before, listen to your body. You know, what might work for me doesn't work for you. So you definitely have to listen to your body, and you know, go to your Father and just ask him to lead you and guide you, you know, and give you the strength that you need, you know, to start this journey. It's a lifestyle change.
That's right. It is.
It's definitely a lifestyle change. So if you come into this thinking, you know, okay, I'm going to do this temporarily. No, it's not. It has to be a lifestyle change.
That's right.
For it to work, you know, got to be a lifestyle change for it to work. So thank you once more for tuning in, and we will see you on the next upload. Thank you, guys. Like, share, and subscribe.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hi family, today we're going to be making a very simple recipe. These are the ingredients that we're going to be using. We're going to put them in this little pot here, this little mini pot. This is kind of like, I guess you could call it like a soup. I drink it in a tea mug. I usually do this recipe when I'm having a flare-up and I just want something to soothe my gut. So this is usually what I go for, just bone broth, coconut milk, and garlic powder. If you can have pepper, then use a little bit of black pepper as well. And yeah, let's hop right in. So basically, I'm gonna set you guys up right here. Like that, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna take our bone broth and we're just gonna put it inside our pot like that. There we go, very good. And then you're just gonna take a little bit of coconut milk. I'm probably gonna do like a 1/4 cup of coconut milk. If you can't have coconut milk, then just omit this. It'll still be fine without it. I just like to have it for the creaminess. So I'm adding in my coconut milk. I think I said coconut water, I meant coconut milk. And a little bit of garlic salt, just to add a little bit of flavor. If you have cilantro or even a little bit of basil, that would taste really good in this as well. There we go. We're just gonna let this heat up. Like I said, it's very, very simple. If you're going through a flare-up, and you just want something to soothe your gut that's gonna help you, you know, not be in so much pain, this is really, really good. And bone broth has a lot of collagen in it, so it really does help with the intestines, with the intestinal lining, with patching up if you have a leaky gut like me. So we're gonna let this heat up. I'm gonna grab a spoon. I'm just gonna gently stir it like that. Just like that. So once that, let me set you guys here, once that heats up, I'm gonna put it in a little mug. And you know what, guys? I'm going to add just a little bit of coconut milk just because I like my bone broth to be extra creamy. Like I said, you can omit that if it's not something that you're into, or if you might not be able to have coconut milk. It depends on, what your body's able to take. But for me, I can have coconut milk, so this just works fine for me. If you have herbs, definitely put some fresh herbs in here. That really adds a nice flavor. Just let this heat. Ooh, it tastes good. I want just a little bit more garlic powder. Season it to your taste. This is garlic salt. If you don't have garlic salt, then just use salt and garlic powder just to add some flavor. Because you want it to taste like a soup, so it doesn't taste like you're just eating broth or drinking broth. Yeah, that's better. That tastes really good. If you've never had bone broth before, it is different. It's a different kind of broth from your regular chicken broth or vegetable broth. It does have a taste to it, so I've been drinking it for a couple years now, so I'm pretty used to it. But if it's your first time, it might taste just a little bit strange, but that's good. And if you don't want to do this, like I said, I just do this when I'm having a flare-up, or if my gut is just having a bad day and I just need something to soothe it. This is usually what I will go for. You can also use bone broth if you want to make like a stew with some veggies or some chicken, or whatever it is. You can put some bone broth in there, and it really works with soothing the gut, at least for me. Don't want it to get too hot. That's good. Okay. So now I'm gonna pour it in my mug that my sister got me. Thank you, Jessie. We're just gonna pour it in here like so. And I just drink it like that. Let's give it a little taste test. Yep, that's good. It almost reminds me of like chicken noodle soup without the noodles and like the vegetables because it's just the broth, but the coconut milk adds a really nice creamy factor that I think you guys will like as well. I tried it without it. I personally, you know, I prefer it with the coconut milk just because I really like that creaminess. If you can have black pepper, you can put a little black pepper in there as well. I can have black pepper in small amounts, but I don't really like it in this. I just kind of like the taste of the garlic. And that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this very simple recipe video, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.